Hey guys, this is Marty Angler from Angling Waters Outdoors, and you're listening to my pally, Manny Moonraker, right here on UFO Busted Radio Network. Hey Manny, you know why I fish at night? Can you say UFO? UFO. That's right.
Hey, this is Manny Moonraker. Though I don't sound like it at the moment, it's because I'm recovering from the flu. Many of you have been reaching out wondering where the hell is Manny Moonraker. Well, I got bitten by the flu bug, basically, and when you hear the bad news that's being reported about the flu, it is 100% true. This thing is the nastiest, most horrific, most life-altering thing you could probably go through this year. I've had the flu before, but this is ridiculous. So, on the 15th, basically, I came down with the flu, and so there was no episode last Friday, and there wasn't any episode this Monday. And this episode almost didn't happen. It's 2 days now. 2 days trying to work through this thing, because while I'm speaking, I get nauseated thanks to the flu. Yeah, so if someone around you has the flu, I suggest that you take them out. Just don't think twice about it. Don't take any chances. Take them out now and save yourself a whole lot of grief, and you're saving them too, because this flu is just bananas. It's going to drive you insane. So needless to say, I'm going to try to muddle through this the best way that Manny Moonraker can. And I thank you guys for reaching out and wondering where the hell I was, because a lot of you did reach out and was wondering if I was taken away by all the rains recently in Texas, if I floated away somewhere, or if basically I got abducted. Somebody was even wondering if I finally got probed. And that's what it feels like. Like if I could imagine being probed, that's it. This flu right here, this year, it's probetastic. That's my word for it. It's probetastic. It's not just a regular probing. I mean, it's going to give you a good one, and it's going to last for a while. So, yeah, that's me. I'm here. I'm Flu Manny. But we got one article at least to talk about. And what can I say? I made it. I'm proud of myself. I'm here. It's taken me a couple days to record this, but nonetheless, we're going to get it started. Now, before we get into that, I just want to say you can reach out to me just like everybody else did through social media. And the first place that you want to look at is Facebook, the Facebook pages, UFO Buster Radio, and the Facebook page, Manny Moonraker, which incidentally, I did have a listener, Carlos, from the Michigan area, who reached out to me during my absence, during my flu near-death absence. I almost died. And basically, Carlos has an experience he wants to share with you guys. And so we're going to welcome Carlos next week, next Friday, to the podcast. And he's going to tell us all about his experiences from 4.2 far and what's going on around Lake Michigan. He's going to have more info for us, and I was tempted to kind of ask him ahead of time what the story was, because, I like hearing things like that, especially from the regular guys, just regular blue collar folks. But I can't, I want to have that surprise just like you guys. I want to get it firsthand. So we'll see. Next Friday, we're going to set a time and I'll announce it next week. We'll have Carlos on here. And we're going to chew the fat, talk the walk, shit the shit. You see, I can't even get my damn terms right because I'm so fucked up in the head right now. Anyway, Carlos, thank you for coming forward and sharing that story. So we are going to be ready for you next Friday. And like I said, a bunch of other people reached out to me through social media. I had people reach out to me to me through Instagram, at Manny Moonraker, if you want to, shout out and give me a story or two. And lastly, on Twitter, for some reason on Twitter, it's at UFO Buster Radio. It's like nobody gives a damn about Twitter anymore. And it's so weird because they extended the stupid text capacity, and it's like, so what? It's just, I don't know about Twitter. But for you guys who follow me on Twitter, I thank you still. But, go over to Facebook, go over to Instagram. It's pretty cool over there too. Because, you put up a bunch of crazy ass shitty pictures. I mean, I make up stuff as I go along. You guys already know that because you're listening to me. So let's get into the story for today now that I gave you that social media rundown or rub down or whatever you want to call it. And the story, of course, is that continuation of the Tic-Tac video, Pentagon craziness, the AATIP madness that we've come to know from our boys over at To the Stars Academy, Elizondo, the Long Short, and the rest of the crew over there that stood under that Mylar penis. And, before I just said Mylar penis, and that just triggered something because I also got some negative messages while I was in hiatus. And it was one individual, and let me tell you guys, YouTube is a haven for haters. If you want to find a good detractor, if you want to find a good rubber dicker who types shit into your comment box and doesn't know the fuck of what they're talking about, just read some YouTube comments because it is amazing. I had this one individual who claimed that I am a debunker, that UFO Buster Radio is about debunking UFOs, and I knew this comment was gonna go wrong. You get the long shit, but you don't see the fucking message. You have to click more. And I was hesitant in clicking more the first few times. I'm like, do I really want to read this? I mean, I'm not feeling well. Why? So this rubber dicker, and I'm not going to give the name, but this rubber dicker starting out saying that they said the F word. All right. That they fucking don't usually listen to debunking shows. But for some reason, they had to listen to this one because it was the episode where I talked about the Mylar penis showing up on the web conference for the To the Stars Academy. And if you know the story, apparently like a week or two after they did the web conference and Bozo was under this Mylar penis, basically the story was that the actual image they used was incorrect. No one did their due diligence before they did the web conference. And basically, what they had on there was a Mylar balloon that was misidentified a few years ago in the UK as a UFO. The picture was blurry, so it looked like a silver flying penis. But really, it was a number 1 silver Mylar balloon that was misidentified. And if you look around, if you have half a brain, you can actually look around and see a clear picture of the Mylar penis, and it looks like a number 1. This individual apparently blamed me for being the only podcast that had that story. Are you shitting me? Are you good, bro? Are you good? Not only did I have the article link like I always do in the description. Apparently they blanked out the whole fucking time I said it. Not only did I have that article link in the description, but if you just do a search, you go into that little rectangular box and you put in your search terms, Mylar penis. That's what it is. I digress. They probably sat there and was looking for Mylar penis. And they probably got a whole bunch of things not having to do with To the Stars Academy. So that is my fault. I am a bad reporter. I should have said, just look for Mylar fuck up, To the Stars Academy. And there you go. You would have had all the other articles come right to you ASAP. Listen, for all you detractors out there, let me just put this down to you straight so we can get to the article at hand. UFO Buster Radio is not about debunking good, solid UFO stories. Mr. Manny Moonraker and even the Big O believe firmly that ufology is a real thing. There is something 4.2 far somewhere. And we do believe that we are not the only rubber dickers in the universe. However, there are a lot of people out there which we think need to be busted because they present fake stories in order to take money from blue-collar people who just want to believe, or who actually do believe but are looking for real stories. The reason why this Mylar penis thing became such an issue is because these guys went out, they sold, shares of this To the Stars Academy at a tone of over $2 million. I think the last count was 2,200,000 something or another. But you're not smart enough to double and triple check whatever the hell it is you're presenting these people, your investors, and even your future investors. You go on and you set up this whole web conference and you literally just fucked up. You screwed the pooch, as I like to say, in front of everybody. Now, maybe that's why they're a little quiet right now, right? They're probably quadruple checking everything. They're probably running stuff by each other in ways that you would not believe. But they should. Because people are paying their fucking hard-earned money not to be rubber-dicked. And unfortunately, when you have someone standing under a Mylar balloon, looks up and claims that is not of this world, you should be getting a refund. So let's go back to this story, because the story has to do, of course, back to the whole AATIP thing. And for those of you who are new to this whole situation, the U.S. government ran a secret program through the U.S. Department of Defense, and it was called the Advanced Aerial Threat Identification Program, AATIP for short, from 07 to 12. Now, before that, they just kept on telling us, we don't believe in UFOs. You people are just, you're stupid, you're high, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at. It's a regular airplane, you dumbass. But people are too smart for that, right? And this is coming from someone who's a debunker, by the way. But people are too smart for that. We don't let it go, because there's just no way that we are so dumb that we are going to continue to, confuse an airplane for something that's, 100 yards wide. Because you get those reports all the time about triangular ships that were 100 yards wide. I'm sorry, but the airplanes are not that big. But anyway, so what it is that what's happening is that finally the MOD has decided to put their 2 cents into the mix. That's right. The see what I mean? Oh, gosh, I need a break. Hold on a second. Anyway, so basically the Ministry of Defense out of the UK decided that they are going to put their 2 cents into this, and they're going to let us know, the Americans know, what they think about this whole AATIP thing, what they call the so-called US X-Files. Now, the title for the article is that the British Ministry of Defense breaks silence on bombshell US X-Files. And basically, they are responding to, those videos, those 2 videos that came out, and basically all of the shit that happened, And I'm sure that also includes the so-called, crashed UFO metal that's left over from somewhere 4.2 far, sitting in Las Vegas somewhere, thanks to Deuce Bigelow. And, there's a lot of more articles coming out on that as well. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the strength to continue to go through that nonsense until somebody gives me a real damn story to talk about. So anyway, as it goes, it turns out that the UK UFO hunters have been trying to get people from the government over there to come forward and, give their opinion or fess up to whether or not they were also secretly, investigating UFOs, kind of like the U.S. was. So it turns out that MP Mark Lancaster, for the Minister of State for the Armed Forces, basically he says that there were 0 plans, 0, not a zilch, niet, for the MOD to make any announcements in the wake of the Pentagon UFO disclosures. But basically what's happening is that he pretty much says that we don't care to do that shit again. I'm going to paraphrase for him because he probably is not as ballsy. He says, I don't give a fuck about the U.S. I don't give a fuck about their programs. And I don't give a damn about their programs and their UFOs. We just don't. Where's my tea? That's what he's saying. Where's my damn tea? Hand me some crumpets and somebody get this shit off my TV. So basically he says that the MOD had already done their little project looking into UFOs and they had no iota, not a single intention to go through that shit again. And there's a quote in here in the article that says, this study concluded that most UFO sightings could be attributed to the misidentification of common objects, or were most likely a result of some meteorological phenomena. So, I guess ball lightning. Who knows? And maybe somebody threw up a hubcap and somebody saw it like 10 yards away and they're like UFO. Basically, he's saying that the MOD did their stuff and it's all just bunk. They don't care about the stuff. And basically, he also added that the MOD had no opinion on whether aliens exist. He says, you may wish to be aware that the MOD has no opinion on the existence or otherwise of extraterrestrial life. Furthermore, the MOD ceased investigating UFO reports after 2009 because they served no defense purpose. Everything was good until that last sentence. If you want to believe there's nothing out there, more power to you. You know, I mean, the probing that happens in the country, I mean, who knows what it is? Maybe it's the UK that's probing their own people, I guess. I don't know. It could be. I mean, aliens, I guess they don't drink tea. They don't like crumpets. So they just go over to the US and get some pizza or stuff like that. But I think that the problem here is that he should have just shut it there. If you want to sit there and say that there is no existence of ET life anywhere, well, fuck it, just leave it there. Shut your trap. Just be quiet. But when you say that the MOD ceased investigating UFO reports because it served no defense purpose, you're crazy. You're literally nuts. You've been rubber dicking people too much your entire career because you're believing your own shit now. There is no way, and I've said this before about the US, there is any country in the world, there is no way that you're going to have things flying around your airspace and you're going to say, I don't care, it doesn't matter. That is a bold-faced lie. And anyone that believes him, I don't care how prim and proper he is and he speaks the Queen's English, I don't give a damn. He's lying to you. He's lying to us. He's lying to everyone that just reads this article. And if you want to read it and be lied to, the link is in the description because we as debunkers like to share the stuff that we read because, I don't know, it gives us a bad rep, I guess. But don't get it twisted. This guy's rubber dicking everybody. There is no way that anyone that's in defense of anything is going to say that advanced aerial phenomena is not a threat. If your little toy ships cannot keep up with it, if your little toy airplanes do not have the ability to keep up with these things, that is a threat. That is a significant threat. Now, you might turn a blind eye to it because you're fucked in the head and you have no idea what the hell to do. But you sure as hell are not just going to let it pass and go away and act like it's not there. So, Mr. Lancaster, you're full of shit. Everybody knows it. So, wise up. Come on. Stop your shit. Put down your biscuit and let's get to it. So, I made it this far and, what can you do? What can you do? So, like I said, if you want to read the article, the MOD says U.S. is full of shit. There's no such thing as ET. And there is no way, because we have plenty of people who listen to the podcast from the UK, and they all firmly believe that there is something out there. And I'm sure that these people that just listen to us are not the only ones. There's plenty of people out there. But it seems like Mr. Lancaster and some of the higher ups up there find it easier just to say that it just doesn't exist. And you can't blame them, because it happens here in the U.S. too. But it's going to only go so far. So check that article out. You make your own decision as far as what it's saying. Now, the other thing I wanted to say before I get off of this episode, because my throat's killing me right now and I feel a little nauseated, and I'd hate to do it on the air for you guys, is that I recently, while I was doing nothing, I started to listening to, podcasts and stuff like that. And an oldie but goodie came on, and that was Linda Moulton Howe. And, she's been around forever. And it's crazy because you listen to her and it's like, yes, Linda. Oh, yes, Linda, that's great. Oh, you kind of fall into like a Linda Moulton Howe trance where you really believe everything she says. And sometimes some of the stuff she says it's really out there, especially when you get into these alien civilization things. But her interview this time around was about the AATIP situation in the Tic-Tac video. And it's funny because she took everything from when it first started, going back like I usually do to the whole Podesta thing and Tom DeLonge, the Russians interfering, all the emails coming out and all this stuff. And apparently she says that Tom DeLonge Short was actually speaking to her as well. During that time about bringing disclosure and, just putting it out there and letting people know that UFOs are real and they're not from here. They're from 4.2 far. It was a good interview and so forth. And she went through the whole thing and she came to a point basically is where we are today. And she says that just recently, as far as last week, that the people at To The Stars Academy apparently have 2 more videos they want to release. Apparently, the next video is going to be a shocker. It's going to throw you for a loop. Much better than David Fravor describing the Tic-Tac video. And then there's another 4th video that's supposed to be coming out. What she noted is that they said originally that this video was supposed to come out back in, back in January, actually, and it has yet to come out. So recently they said they're going to let it finally release it, but still it's not released yet. And here's the problem. And like I said earlier, when you screw up, right, when you take people for all this money and you screw up, you really have to do due diligence times 5. And you really do. And that's probably what's happening. Now, to me, the reason why this might be taking a little long, it could be because maybe there's something in this video that might be too fantastic. Maybe there's something in this video that might have people scratching their heads as to whether or not it's real. Especially after we looked at that Mylar penis. My thing is that it's the way it should be. You can't come into this topic, balls to the wall and not think that you're going to have to double and triple check what the hell you're trying to present. Because otherwise, you know better than anyone else that's come before you. So in a way, I'm glad that To The Stars Academy is slowing their roll and trying to get to know the material that they're presenting to us in the public. Because if they fuck up again, who's going to believe them? There'll be no better than the knucklehead in South America that pushed us those Nazca line mummies and those crazy creations and everything else that he tried to push. I'm not even going to mention his name because I had it with his nonsense. So that's what it is. She was on there. Basically, she was just talking about basically what's coming and the fact that she even acknowledged that things are a little stale right now. And that's just what happens when you fuck up like that in the public forum. You really have to go back and, dot your I's and make sure you don't rubber dick the rest of the planet again. So anyway, this is Man Moonraker. Next week we'll have 2 episodes. Like I said, next Friday we're going to have Carlos on here to talk about his experiences, and we'll chew the fat with him. And I definitely will feel a whole lot better by then. I'm pretty sure of it. But until then, I thank you guys for listening. I'll be back to my normal self next time. And with that, ciao.